We are live! live! Good evening! It's your guy, Wasoggy.
Yes, it's your guy, Mardy.
And we are the King's Court. And we are
Come on, let's go. Heights indeed we are.
We're back. UFC 319. We had to do it. Review show.
That's it. We're here.
Aftermath. Whew. Yo, where do we start?
Maybe we can start. We can start from the top. We can start from the bottom. We can maybe start from when I woke up.
Right. When did you wake up?
I woke up. Prates, Geoff Neal.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, so that fight gave us what it advertised basically. They both said, Geoff Neal said it, Carlos Prates said it, hey, this is not going to last the 5 rounds. Somebody's going to get knocked out. Prates said, somebody's going to get knocked out, but it's not going to be me. Chai, that guy is special. He's special. And Geoff Neal, he's no slouch himself as well. I wanted that fight to last longer than it did, to be honest. But when that spinning elbow hit, and it was it just before the round ended as well?
4 minutes 59 seconds.
That's it. I was thinking, madness. That was crazy. What a way to get your win.
That's not a bad way for you to wake up still, you know. imagine you could have something like that every time you woke up. Exactly.
That's it. I missed the entrances just as they were squaring each other off. That's when I woke up. So I loved it.
That was I agree. I wanted that fight to last longer. It was a lovely back and forth. As advertised, nice stand-up battle. Geoff Neal had probably a good minute, I'd say minute 45, where he was looking like he was on top. Then Prates came back with, I think there was a kick, there was a knee, then he swung the balance back in his favor. Then it was a bit of 50-50. Then Prates definitely started to take over. Then Geoff Neal was like, yo, you hurt. I think there was a body shot. It hurt him. Then he went for the huggy. Then he went. Then Prates was like, yo, I thought you said we weren't going to hug. I thought there was going to be no wrestling. Prates is actually telling him, yo, what's going on here? Then there's a bit of separation. Prates gets back on top. I'm counting down to the end of the round going, I can't wait for round 2. I can't wait. Only 10 seconds left of round 1. I'm thinking, I probably need to quickly run to the kitchen, just get the throat lubed, maybe put a coffee on. I'm stood up, 3 seconds to go. I'm just about to run out. And then I hear, no, I don't. And then I see it, but I think I heard it first. It's like a baseball bat being hit against a tree. And I was like, and the buzzer then goes. So it was like, and I was like, oh, wow. Wow.
It was.
I'm hearing like a really weird buzzing sound on my side. I don't know why that's just suddenly flicked on, by the way. It's still going. That's what happens when you go live, people. You experience technical difficulties. That's how you know we are live. It stopped. It stopped now. It stopped, but I can't hear you. So the buzzing has stopped, but I can't hear what you're saying. It's saying you're on mute, by the way. Yeah. It's the little mute sign is up next to your name.
Right. Is
You're back. You're back. The buzzing's gone.
Brilliant. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, when that buzz started, I don't know if anyone's following that. It was a bit of a technical issue. I thought that was still the buzzer from when Prates' elbow. That's probably what Geoff Neal was hearing inside his brain. That flat line when you're in hospital and things aren't looking good. Oh, you've gone quiet again. Yeah. No, I can lip read. You're saying is that better, but I can't hear anything from your side. And now you're on mute again. No, I can lip read. You're saying is that better? Nothing. Still nothing. Don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Can you?
Hello?
Hello, is that better?
You're back now. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
All right. All good.
Right. Let's do it. Technical difficulties. Apologies for that.
That's what I'm saying. When you're live, anything can happen. Anything could happen. The Undertaker could just rock up behind one of us now and just put us through the canvas. We just don't know. We just don't know what's going to happen on King's Court when we're on the live. But yeah, but in terms of like you said, loved the fight. Wanted it to go longer. Amazing ending. Great sequence. I did think when the fight started that I was just observations, and I thought Geoff Neal looked a bit fleshy. I didn't think he looked. I think he ate too much or drank too much. When I looked at all the fighters in between, like how they weighed in versus going into the cage, I thought Geoff Neal looked the biggest. I just didn't see that muscle definition on him at all. Apart from his back and his shoulders, I thought, wow, dude doesn't look like a 170.
Okay. Well, he looked heavier than that. I guess I assume that you're leading to.
Yeah, I just thought he looked heavy. He's not usually fast, but I didn't think he was at his optimum speed. And I don't know. Again, I don't know what happened to him in between, weighing in and fighting that. But again, that was an observation I made as soon as he got into the cage. I was like, he doesn't look. He usually looks a little bit more athletically stacked when he enters the cage, and I didn't get that impression from him that night. So I don't know if anything will come out off the back of that, but that was just the eye test for me that I thought, interesting.
Oh, okay. I didn't pick that out. I didn't notice anything about it, to be honest. But I'll have a look back and see. But that might be something that played against him in the cage there, to be honest.
And then even obviously I listened to the post-fight interview by Prates, and he basically stated that once he felt Geoff Neal, didn't really feel his words. He goes, "I didn't feel the power was there like it usually is." Like that's how he worded it. Like I didn't feel he was as strong as he has been in the past. So it gave him the confidence to take more risks, basically. Hence why, because I think his initial game plan was to be a little bit more tentative and kind of build into the fight. He'd even spoken to DC and said, "Hey, I'm going to stop chasing the knockout. The most important thing is for me to get the win." And obviously, that's a mindset shift, because he obviously lost his last fight to Ian Gary, where even up to the last round, he thought, I know I'm losing, but I still got this KO power. I just need to land once. Where he took a different mindset going into this fight, and he even told DC, and DC reaffirmed it, that he wasn't going for the knockout. But funnily enough, that's what he ended up getting at the end of round 1.
Fair dues. And that's the thing. Sometimes it just takes that sort of mindset shift, as you say. It took you don't need to throw all of your strength into your punches to clean someone's lights out. And that obviously played in his favor there. And it's a funny one, because obviously, they both fought Ian Gary, and they both lost to Ian Gary. And it's funny because Ian Gary, he was on socials and he was posted like I don't know if it was a video or a picture of both of them, basically calling them his kids because he'd done them both. But yeah, sometimes you need that adjustment potentially from a loss, and that's why sometimes losses can be good for somebody in their career. But what a performance that was, my word! The way he was moving. Oh,
I think that makes him more. To be fair, in my mind, hearing that mindset shift, I reckon that makes him more dangerous moving forwards. Because now, if he's consciously not going for the knockout, it means he's having fun in there, and it's second sense, and it's natural for him to do things like that against Geoff Neal, where as opposed to chasing it and losing a round, but knowing, it doesn't matter, I can lose rounds because I've got this. He's now thinking, I need to make it more competitive. I need to make sure that it's not so one-sided for the judges. And as I'm blessed with that dirty left or whatever move I've got, if I happen to throw one of them without the pressure of I need a knockout, it will just fall into his lap. That's scary.
Yeah, that is indeed. And it's true. You're right. And it also reminds me of Izzy when he was in his peak. Izzy didn't throw power bombs. He just put it out there, put his shots out there, that question mark kick, the elbows, and Jerry, he put it together. He looked so good, and he was so entertaining to watch. You could just see he was putting his head there in the way and then just coming out just off reach. And I like that form of striking. It's beautiful to watch. Very night and day what we saw in the main event, which we'll obviously get to later on. But he's just a spectacular fighter, Prates, and I'm excited what's next for him. And Neal will be back. Obviously, Neal definitely will be back. He's a veteran in the game, even though he's only been in the UFC for maybe for like 4 or 5 years, But he'll be back. But what a performance that was by Carlos Prates.
Yeah, fantastic performance. I liked his call out as well.
So did he call him out in the ring, or was it afterwards?
Because
I didn't remember it being in the ring.
I can't remember, but whether it was in the ring or in the press conference or both, he definitely called out Leon Edwards.
Oh, did it? I didn't even know. I was thinking of somebody else. Oh, okay. That would be an interesting fight.
First, I think definitely in the cage, he was making a beeline for, I need to be on that card. And Rio de Janeiro in October. Dana, make sure I'm on that card, book me against whoever. I think that's 100% what he stated in the ring. And then I think Dana was in a great mood that night. He was confirming confirming everything back through the microphones to Joe Rogan and crew as the conversations were happening. And then in the press conference, I definitely recall him going, I want Leon Edwards. But
wow.
Again, I've just seen the comments and MMA Hour and so on, and I don't get it, because a lot of people are going, well, Leon's not going to do that. And I'm thinking, well, if Prates is calling him out and the UFC want that, why wouldn't Leon do it? What choice has Leon got? He's not a number one contender anymore. He's not a champion anymore. I don't get that narrative that, Leon's not going to be interested in that. Why ever not? I think that's a great fight.
Just coming off everything that you've said to sum up that fight, can you understand why people are saying Leon wouldn't want that? Because I can. I can
Why?
100% understand.
Are you saying Leon doesn't want that smoke?
I'm saying it's very well that Leon maybe doesn't want that smoke in Rio, in Brazil, where Prates is from. You know, in the Lions Den on how many weeks' notice? Is it when is it? Is it next month or is it October?
October, beginning of October.
Okay, so you've got 6-week camp. Okay. Interesting. I know somebody who wants it though, who also won.
So do
I
I.
also called it out. I think that would be more an interesting fight. I think so. I mean, I'd love to see the Leon one, to be honest. Either fight would be great for me. But yeah, Leon. What's Leon ranked at the moment in time? Actually, middleweight, isn't it? No. Welterweight.
Welterweight, 170. Yeah.
Because you're right.
I want to throw out he's 4. Leon must be about number 4. Well, number 4 now.
Yeah, spot on. You're right. Leon Edwards, number 4. Number 5, Kamaru Usman. Number 6, Gary. Geoff Neal is 11. Prates is 12. So Prates will hopefully just get that 11 spot then, basically.
Hold on, who's number 10? What, Gilbert Burns and Colby Covington? Prates should jump above them based on activity.
Does that how the UFC rankings work though? That's the thing.
Personally, I would have Prates in the top 10. He lost to Ian Gary. He was unfortunate. He took a shot, was unsuccessful. He's bounced back. He's beaten Geoff Neal, like you said, veteran, all the rest of it. For me, I get your point, but for me, I would like to see Prates jump over Colby and Gilbert Burns.
Oh, I'd love to see that as well. To be honest, I would because
if he's outside top 10, only because I really want to see him versus Leon. To be fair, so if he's like number 8 and Leon's 4, then why not?
That's true. Because to be honest, if you're Leon, who are you going to fight? Who are you going to fight? It's true. He's not fought Ian Gary, has he?
He's fought all those 170 old guard now.
It's true.
And Prates literally has got the smoke. Literally. So if Leon wants to bounce back and get credit in the bank, take out the star boy. Take him out in Rio.
That would be huge. That would be huge.
The guys, Prates has the momentum. Like I said, he literally has the smoke. He has the hype. He has the fan base now. The fans love him.
He do.
I think back to your point, I don't want to see Leon rerun it with any of those guys I don't want to see him rerun it. And I think he probably owes the UFC a couple of favors based on the fact that they've given him a few Hong shows over the last couple of years. So now, Lions Den. Leon, pack your bags, mate. Off to Rio de Janeiro. Lions Den against the fire himself.
Yeah.
The nightmare.
Harsh guy, you. Man was the champ. That's why he got one of those. Excuse me. One of those home fights. Man was the champ. Had it got a title fight in his 9 straight wins. And now you're feeding into the lion.
What have you done for me lately?
You're harsh, you lads. You're harsh. Next time we go Renegade. But no, it's true. But to be honest, it's probably a lesser of two evils because there's another boogeyman, there's another star boy in that division, and it's Morales. That guy's a scary dude as well. So, and he's number 7. So if he's faced Usman already twice, Ian Gary's number 6, Morales is number 7, Buckley's number 8, and then so.
But you don't put Morales versus Prates because you want their trajectories to keep on doing that. So you don't put them against each other until it's either for title or number 1 contender. So for me, you keep those two young bucks separate. So you divide the welterweight division in terms of the young bucks and the old guard, and you try and get the young bucks to kick out the old guard, as was the plan. But then Usman destroyed that plan when they matched him up versus Buckley. Do you know what I mean? So I think you need to allow these young bucks to take the shine off these old dogs, bump them back down, and then you create a little bit of a tournament where the young bucks are now leading the pack.
That's how it would make sense if you were purposely trying to build it for entertainment purposes, really. But that's not what happens in the UFC. The UFC, Dana's not scared. Sean Shelby, all those guys are putting 2 young bucks in straight away. I've been wanting that to happen in so many divisions in the past, and hey, I'm worried because they might do that. They well might do that. Ian Gary, Shavkat, I didn't want that to happen at that time. Both 2 undefeated fighters, but hey, let's see. There's options. There's options in that division, definitely. But if Leon turns it down, let's have MVP versus Prates. There's nothing for Prates to gain there, really and truly. But if he wants a quick turnaround, he knows a guy. We know a guy that's obviously chomping at the bit. So, yeah, let's see.
And let's seamlessly and before we seamlessly link to MVP, let's wish Carlos the Nightmare Prates a happy birthday, because I believe it was his birthday yesterday. So gave himself a marvelous birthday present in terms of not just additional cigarettes and whiskey, but the 50k bonus as well.
Wow, that's a great birthday present. Fair play to the lad. Happy birthday, man.
But yeah, MVP. I'll let you start because I'm sure you're going to be absolutely purring, and I think I'm going to be coming from it from a completely different angle. But let's hear what you've got to say about MVP versus Gerard Killer Gorilla Cannonier.
Do you know what? I've not seen all of the fights. I've only seen highlights of that one, and the highlights obviously make him look really good. You know, the viral moments of him just going into one of his, sometimes he just charges in with the overhand right and dropping Cannonier down. It seemed to be one-way traffic from what the highlights proposed. So it's hard for me to give a neutral, sort of stance on it. It seemed that he looked good. It seemed like the last round, I think it was, though. Did he get taken down a lot? That's all I can say on the matter. But he got the win at the end of the day. So yeah, maybe over to you on this one.
Yeah, he said he was going to be more aggressive. MVP said he was going to be more aggressive. Okay. And yes, 100%, he was probably the most aggressive we've seen him in the UFC since he's come over. He definitely knocked down Cannonier with those blitzes you described at least twice, where Cannonier's on his arse, rolling back, full on, butt to canvas. Couple of moments, and then like you said, in the 3rd round, I think he got a bit overconfident, overzealous, overreached, lipped, and then Cannonier got him and spent pretty much, I think, at least 2.5 to 3 minutes of the 3rd round on top, bit of ground and pound, looking for submissions. Did some damage, could have done some more damage. It looked a bit hairy because MVP couldn't get up. He couldn't get up. And Cannonier had him right in the middle of the cage. So it could have ended very, very bad. But in terms of my frustrations, in terms of round 1 and round 2, he was stunting. He was profiling. He looked good.
Come on.
But then he kept, I don't know, the entertainer in him kept coming out to play. I just wanted my man to just knock him out and get the job done. And by him not doing that, I'm not going to lie, when Cannonier went on top in the 3rd round, I was like, Cannonier, if he finishes him, good for MVP. We'll teach him a lesson, because I don't like that. And I'm sure everyone around the industry saying Dana hates that kind of, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, showboat.
For me, I was like, whoa. Because I think Cannonier, if he had just unloaded the clip and just gone crazy with the ground and pound, he could have stole that in that moment, but he didn't. MVP was doing a lot of wiggling and a lot of he was still very evasive even in that position, to be fair.
Okay, fair play.
MVP, sorry, if Cannonier had just gone this is my chance and gone absolutely hell for leather, he could have knocked him out on the ground. He could have. He didn't. Could have, should have, would have. But MVP for me could have. He starched Cannonier. He should have taken him out.
Yeah.
And those moments you saw were the moments where he went into entertainer mode as opposed to smelling the blood and going to finish him.
Yeah, when he's doing all the emotes and stuff like that, man said, calm down. I said, calm down. He hit him with the overhand right. I was just like, yeah, calm.
I didn't like it. I was just sat there going, are you serious?
Oh, fair dude. That's what he is. He's an entertainer, to be honest. And to be honest, I think that's why he's in the UFC. He's in the UFC for a good time. But it's true. If you want to start being serious about going on a title charge, did he win a bonus? Did he win performance? Or was it not? Maybe not.
I'm not sure.
But yeah, if you do want to go on a title charge, if you do want to get in that more money as well, because finishes lead to more chances of more chances of money, basically more chances of bonuses. So yeah, he needs to be doing that, as you say, definitely.
I also, again, look, you're doing really well at middleweight. Stay at middleweight. You stated that 170 is too political and people don't want the smoke and people are it's more chess moves in terms of who fights who. 185, you've had success now. I don't get the whole putting his name out there for Prates at 170. I don't get that. It's great that he's game, but
yeah,
he could genuinely. He's going to be ranked in the middleweight. He's going to be a single digit once the rankings come out.
So yeah, he'll just leapfrog him.
So
yeah.
He's got.
So there's been some movement.
He can make a serious play at middleweight now, if he really wants to.
Yeah.
I said he's not here. He's not here for a long time. He's here for a good time.
That's true.
He can have a good time do very well at middleweight. Why dance back down to 170?
Hey, yeah. To be honest, fair dues. If you can keep both plates spinning, because if a loss at middleweight is not gonna, loss at welterweight is not gonna affect your chances in 185. Then, but I see what you mean. Yeah, that's true. And he's got some serious contenders there as well. That division's shaking up nicely.
Definitely.
Fair play.
But you know what fight I want to see? You know what fight I want to see in that division?
What is it?
I don't care about the friendship. I want to see MVP versus Izzy. I genuinely don't care about the friendship. I want to see them two fight.
I don't think that'll happen. It's just like the Kamaru. It's not as bad, but it's just about people shouting, "Oh, Kamaru Izzy." Like, realistically, it's not going to happen. I don't think. I think it'll be a fantastic matchup. I think it will be, but also I think it just as good it'll be as him versus Prates. I do. Izzy needs to fight Strickland again. That's what I want for Izzy. That's what Izzy wants for Izzy. And if Sean is serious about, getting back up there. But hey, if they book it, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
Did you see Kai Asakura versus Elliott? Is it Tim Elliott?
Just the finishing sequence.
Yeah. Kai, in short, send him to Dagestan and just forget about him.
2-3 years. 2-3 years Dagestan. But I was telling you, don't sleep on Tim Elliott. Tim Elliott he's been around the block. He's no slouch. He knows his way to victory.
It's so awkward. I was watching his movement. He was like an old drunken master from the old martial art films. I was like, what? His movement is wild.
It's true. It's very true.
Master style. But yeah, got the job done and looked good doing it. He was in the fight the whole time. Kai, obviously, we know what he's about. Great stand-ups. His knees looked really good. But yeah, once Tim Elliott took him down for the first time, I think at the end of the first round or beginning of the second round, Kai just looked he looked shocked. He suddenly realized that he looked scared of the takedown, which effectively was his downfall.
Okay.
Once he got taken down, he became more hesitant on his feet. but then that's all you've got is your stand-up. So if you're being hesitant on that, because I think the initial takedown was he threw a leg kick, which funny enough landed on Tim's neck, fully landed flush, but then as he was pulling back, Tim just grabbed the leg and took him down. I was like, what? So I took the leg kick to basically use that as leverage to take him down.
Fair play. Hey, and you need, that's the thing, you need to be creative with your takedowns, especially at that weight class as well, because I think it's hard to separate yourself. Well, apart unless you're Pantoja, it's hard to separate yourself because these guys barely haven't, they're quick and they've not got, all of them haven't got the knockout power and whatnot, sort of thing. So fair play to him if he managed to do that. But what do you think is next then for Asakura? Like, other than sending him to Dagestan 2-3 years?
It's not looking good because he was ranked 15 and Tim Elliott was 11.
Oh,
so what you brought in and you're 0-2 now. You've been brought into the UFC. You were brought in to challenge Pantoja. You've lost against Pantoja. You've then lost against number 11, who hadn't fought for 2-3 years and is a 38-year-old, and who doesn't go to decision. He submits you. What you're gonna have him fight? You're gonna have him fighting unranked people now.
Yeah, that's techie.
You know what he needs? He needs an NXT.
He needs developmental. It needs to go down with the NXT title and then come back to the main roster.
Do you know what, Kai? I've got what's next for him, and it's not to offend, but do you know what? Cage Warriors. It makes sense.
Cage Warriors is the NXT for. It's the global NXT for, especially in Europe, for UFC. It's true. It's true.
So 2-3 years in Dagestan, then he comes back into NXT, give him a free fight contract at, sorry, not NXT, give him a free fight contract at Cage. Call it NXT. Give him a free fight contract at Cage Warriors, and then if he proves himself, he can come back into the UFC in, I don't know, 4.5 years. He's not ready. He's got no ground game at all.
Is that one championship? You came from one championship?
No, Rising.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Japan,
yeah. Hey, it's very hit and miss with people coming from other big organizations in different regions. But yeah, you're right. He's not ready for that.
Mm-mm. He's not ready. But yeah, well done, Tim Elliott. Rolling back the years. Look good.
Go on, Tim, lad.
But yes, again, another seamless link there. Talking about, fighters entering the UFC, making their debut after making big impressions in other organizations. We got to talk about Aaron Pico against our boy, Lerone Miracle Murphy.
That is a boy who is ready. Say something. He called it. Telling people have been calling it. Carl called it. All of them, man. I was down at Manchester Top Team, and the our man said he's gonna KO him. He said it. People have been knowing. What a way to put a stamp on the opportunity that you've got. 3 weeks notice, pull out. Do you know, Princey's a mastermind. You're just deep in it. He's a mastermind. He knows what he's talking about, He knows what he's talking about. What a performance. And when I say what a performance, that first round was very techie. It was techie because those shots to the body from Pico. I could feel them. I was half asleep and I could feel them from the couch.
Oh
my word!
Honestly, those body shots, he got them in. There was at least 3 or 4 that landed, and like you said, they woke me up.
Mm-hmm.
Lerone Murphy, performance of the night, 100%.
Yeah.
Viral moment of the night, despite there being the 9th and the 10th ever spinning elbow finishes in UFC history on back-to-back on the same card. For me, on the algorithm, I'm seeing Lerone Murphy's on repeat, despite the fact that, like we discussed, Prates was beautiful. It was a buzzer beater. Whilst Neal was down, there was a gash in his hairline that just opened and was just gushing blood. But so you would have thought, oh yeah, Prates' one's going to get the love. But Lerone's, because of the implications, because of the fact that I think, obviously, if you're in the know, like we were, and like the camp were, then you knew what was coming. But for the rest of the world, as I was talking about in the build-up, you weren't ready. You weren't ready. You casuals weren't ready. And yes, he hasn't had a knockout since 2021 or whenever it was. But this has been cooking. Princey's been cooking in the kitchen. Cooking in the trap.
The trap. That's it. That's it in the RV, you know. Oh,
because that fight, even as a fight, just as we talked about Prates versus Neal, thinking we wanted more of that because it was a fight. It was competitive. It was a back and forth. That first round was exactly the same. It was a back and forth. Pico looked good. His pressure was fantastic. He looked strong.
100%.
He came out of the trap so fast. It gave Lerone no choice but to, I'm not allowing you to impose your will on me this early. This is my time. Then there's a back and forth. Then there's the body shots as we spoke. Then there's the takedown attempt by Pico. And then Lerone sets up a knee. Boom! Almost gets him in the chin, but then gets him in the chest. Then there's a back and forth on the fence. Then Pico's trying to whip it to the body again. Then Lerone stuns him with an elbow. Then he takes a stutter back. Then he grabs him with the ninja choke.
It's true. I was thinking the sub. I think the sub is coming here. The sub's coming.
Then the ninja choke slips off. I'm like, no. Then I was on top. Then he's doing the ground and pound. Then Lerone gets out of that predicament. I watched it again. I was like, that round was round of the night. That round was sick. There's even a bit where Pico, I think, lands something on Lerone because Lerone hits, like his knee quickly hits the canvas.
Yeah, he stumbles.
Something hits him that kind of just makes him blink and like does that, but he bounces straight back up. What a round. What a round.
That's the beauty.
Piece de la resistance. With about a minute 40 to go of the round, and he just times that spinning elbow. Like if you had to pick which spinning elbow was the better, which one would you go with, and why? Versus Carlos Prates.
I think he said it. I think he said it. It has to be the round because of the sheer implications and because of the way the first round was leaning to. I think if the first round went to a scorecard, you would have given it to Pico. You would have given it to Pico, and I think because the timing of it and everything, and it was just before that, say the knee, he started to get his time in, and he started to latch onto it, and he just came, he stepped in, and that's it. I think because the implications of it as well, you'd have to give it to Lerone on that basis, even though I think aesthetically, Prates has probably looked better aesthetically, in my opinion. But I think just with everything we just said, I think Lerone has to take it.
And for me, I think I agree, but I actually believe aesthetically Lerone's looks better because it's a better landing. It's a cleaner contact. Where Prates is lovely, but it's that old school slicing type of notion. Because if you even see the injury on Neal, it's sliced. His whole head is sliced. It's a dirty cut. Where Lerone's that lands on Pico's temple shot, dead, complete, like it was firm. Put the lights out. It was Pico's down, and they're saying that for 4 minutes they couldn't take the mouthpiece out of his mouth because he was just clenched He just did that. When he was out, he was just, like stiff, so stiff they had to fight to get the mouth guard out.
My guy was out. My guy was out. Scary. Oof. Oh, and then just for good measure, he needs to make sure my man's out. And he went for one of those. Went for one of them hammer fists. One of those Thor hammers. Oh, yeah.
Completely unnecessary as well.
But it was the Dan Henderson, Michael Bisping one.
In my head, when he did that, it's like, and one of them, and two of them.
It was a Hendo shot, that one. But hey, he's done it. He's only put his name in the hat. He's taken the hat, and he's put the gauntlet down, and he's like, I'm next. Made Volk say it. It was a perfect night. The build up, the story leading up to it. It couldn't have gone any better for those guys. Any better. And I'm so happy, and I'm so proud of him.
Same. No. It was a special night. It was a brilliant finish. Story of the night, performance of the night, knockout of the night. Yeah, everything. And I'm glad, like you called Volk out before. The guy just wants to fight. He's not really about the politics. He just wants to fight. Young meat, wants to, absolutely cement his legacy, and he'll give whoever the best guy is in the moment that chance to have a shot at him. He's got nothing to lose, and I love the fact that when I heard Volk go in the on Twitter, yeah, I'll see you in December, Lerone Murphy, I was in stitches. You know why? Not just out of pure happiness that Lerone Murphy has now got that validation that he's always deserved, but the fact that Volk is still playing the game, although he's being the gentleman, he's still thinking of money. That last pay-per-view, those last pay-per-view points, December, 1 month before the new deal, when pay-per-view is no more.
Ooh, stack it up. He knows he's been having taste of those. He's had taste of them all his career. So, yeah, come on, Volk. And that will round up the year brilliantly.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think you said it in the preview, the build-up before it, that Volk said that, the match between him and Pico, it's not really, not that it's not exciting, but he thinks he's going to stamp on Pico, basically. Whereas the Lerone fight, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be an easy night for Volk at all. So, yeah, that'll be a nice one. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, super excited. But yeah, super exciting. Gaspar, the magic happening at Manchester top team, the hype around that camp at the moment, the credit they're getting, the love they're getting. Lerone Murphy, the captain, Carl Prince, coach, got Lewis McGuillen's fight, all tied up now. We've got, is it Lewis?
Yeah, Louis Lee Scott.
Louis
tomorrow
Scott
night
on DW Dana White's Contender Series tomorrow night with a shot of getting that UFC contract. Lerone Murphy also looking after his sparring partner on the mic after the fight and calling out his boy to be signed.
Yeah, Jordan Barton, that's the one. It's about time as well for Jordan. It's about time. So, I love that.
Same.
That could potentially be 4 heads in the UFC. Louis tomorrow night will make it 3 heads in the UFC. Obviously, Atiba's got another fight booked in October. Have you seen? So apparently, Atiba's bought some new kittens with one of his bonus money. 2 little black kittens. What a character! But yeah, you're right. Everything's happening at Manchester top team for sure.
Yeah, no, they deserve it. They deserve it. Even Ariel was shouting about it on the MMA Hour, giving that camp all the love in the world, which is great. We love to see it, man. Special team. Good things happening. Big things still coming. What a year! What a year they're having.
Indeed.
But yeah, I suppose main event.
That's it. That's what it leads us to.
That's it. Hamza Chimaev was versus DDP. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. What? Do you want to take this away? This is, yeah.
I mean, the domination was on another level. It felt like, I don't know how to put it. I just can't imagine being on the up, and I never want to be on the receiving end of what Khamzat Chimaev did against DDP, because I think that probably happens in a lot of prisons around the world, where it's probably it's probably 3 or 4 guys, holding one man down for the lead to violate him. But there was no 3 or 4 guys. DDP must have thought there were 3 or 4 guys in there, but it was just Khamzat. It was just one. And when you look at the stats, it's just scary, because DDP was champion. And I don't think we've ever seen a champion be so violated like that. Not just a champion, but a champion who's defended his belt multiple times and, was becoming a problem in that division. Had he beat Khamzat, people would have been putting him in that middleweight Hall of Fame conversation. That was the noise before.
For sure.
Khamzat's come along and just absolutely, destroyed him. Crucifix, bro. Like, I saw a joke, and I shouldn't say it because, I love Jesus. We're both Christians in this show, but I saw it, and you know what? Christians should also have a good sense of humor. But I think it was it Craig Jones, and he put out a statement which was wild. And people were saying, "Hey, you shouldn't disrespect Jesus." But I was like, I saw it as, you know what? Jesus has a sense of humor, and we as Christians should have a sense of humor as well. And Craig Jones' statement was, I'm going to say it. I need to keep a straight face. DDP spent more time on the crucifix than Jesus Christ did.
Oh my word.
I was like, wow.
Oh my word. Oh my word. That was a violation. That is a violation.
But someone put the time and said the whole fight he spent 15 minutes in a crucifix. I haven't got my stopwatch out.
I saw the stat. They're
saying that in terms of strikes, Khamzat threw 567 and landed 500.
Yeah.
Wow. Takedowns, 12 out of 17. Wow. Top control time, 21 minutes, 40 odd seconds out of 25 to Khamzat. Wow.
It's true. It was
the numbers don't lie.
It was very true. Do you know what? I don't know. I have a bit of a different take to you. I mean, I don't because I agree everything that we just saw. But I don't know. I walked away from that fight thinking, I don't know. It maybe says more about DDP than it did about Khamzat, because I think we knew Khamzat could do that. I didn't know he could do it for 5 rounds. That's the key for Khamzat. That's the key. I was quite upset with Khamzat because he had him in that crucifix multiple times. The first few times he had it, especially in the first round, he was throwing shots. And Dana said it. He's not going to say, obviously, there were like little dog, puppy dog shots, because hey, nobody's going to run on be in that position. And look at the state of his face. But the elbows were there. Why the heck did Khamzat not just finish? And he would have finished the fight, just slice and dice him. For me, I just didn't understand that. And then for me, at the end of it, DDP, obviously, we knew he's hard as nails. He stood it and he took that beating. He took it. And in the end, it looked like if he had got that choke off in the end, my word, like I would have just fainted. But like, obviously we're purists, MMA purists, and comes up one and he used his his skills against him. But is this what the middleweight the middleweight division is going to be? Is that what it's going to be like? because that style, I'm sorry, that style was less mixed up than Khabib. I'll be very honest with you. And although we said that he's going to go into stardom, I don't know if he lost some fans in that arena. The boos that every time he took him down after the third round, there was just boos for him. I don't know. It was a mix. I don't know what to think of it. I was shocked, but it was a mauling. That's his game plan, and he stuck to his game plan, and he did it. And fair play to him. He should get the bonus. He should get the money. It's not the Khamzat that we're used to seeing. Well, actually, we are used to seeing it because it just doesn't last long for him. But I don't know. I've got mixed feelings coming after it. What do you think?
Yeah, now your points are all 100% valid. I think the noises on social media, seeing where other people were watching the fights, a lot of fighters and celebrities backed you up and said, even in the bars, people were booing, people were very angry.
Oh, wow.
I think, Secret Juice, what's his name?
Paulo Costa.
Paulo Costa, he was firing shots, saying where he was watching it, like it was a stinker. I think Sean Strickland said the same, and a few other celebrities who weren't even fighters said, yeah, like the bars got they turned quite nasty, very like by round 3-4. That the booing was very evident. I think personally he was sending a message to shut up the haters about the cardio and the gas. I 100%. I by the time it got to round 3. That's when it set in my head. I think it was crucifix number 3 as well. I was like, he's not finishing him on purpose. He's not using elbows because 100% to get him out of there, all you had to do was switch from tippy-tappy to, if he'd done 4 elbows consecutively in a row, unanswered, Goddard is stopping it. You're not going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. He's not going to allow you to get to 5, 6, 7 of heavy elbows in a row when the guy can't defend himself and is in a crucifix. One arm trapped between your legs and the other arm he's literally leaning on whilst he's got the one other arm to absolutely smash you up. So I feel he was sending a message to all the haters, to everyone on social media who said he hasn't got the gas tank. And if it gets past rounds 1 and 2, then it's muddy waters and it's DDP time. I genuinely think he was playing with it. He's seen all the messages on social. He's seen all the build-up and went, okay, you're not taking my conditioning and what I've been through in this camp. I'm transformed. I need to show you guys this is a new Khamzat. So I feel he 100%. I agree with you. He could have got him out of there in the first round. The first crucifix, it could have been over. He did those tippy-tappy shots were just to hold the position in my mind. It was just to make sure Goddard didn't stand them up. Just to say, I am being busy. Because they were tippy-tappy shots. I don't care. I understand what you say and Dana say, but they weren't shots that were creating damage. They accumulated damage. Think about it. If you do that to yourself 567 times on the same spot, and you don't have black skin or you're not melanated, you're going to have a bruise. Yeah, let's be honest. So they were tippy-tappy shots. Where if he'd thrown those shots with force and then mixed in the elbows, not only are you opening him up, you're making sure Goddard stops it.
Yeah, that's true.
So I feel he was sending a message, and I think he even Khamzat states in the press conference that he plays with his friends in sparring. He'll put them in a crucifix for 25 minutes just for fun, just to humble them.
Just to humble them. Stay humble, brother. Stay humble. It's mad. It's mad doing it in a title fight, though. It's mad. But he's basically he sent murmurs around that middleweight division that, hey, if you want to come and try to take this title, this is what you have to deal with, and that's a scary prospect.
But on your other point as well, as good as Khamzat was, yes, you have to ask questions of DDP because you know what was coming. So why are we saying that all your prep was just pointless? Like, because in round 5, there was a takedown attempt where he finally sprawled and blocked it.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
he did. I think.
and I was like, oh my gosh, like he effectively stopped that takedown even happening. And even, I don't think he did the silly thing. And well, not the silly thing, because Dustin Poirier would have been like, yay! He jumped the gilly. Don't be silly, jumped the gilly. But then he was, you remember in round 5 when he had his moments.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you knew what was coming. You knew the whirlwind that was coming. And I think I've got the stats here. So, in terms of his prep, again, I don't know what the camp thought they were going to get from Khamzat, which would have been any different, because we all knew what was going to happen, but we were trying to give DDP the benefit of the doubt that he would have something to anti-Khamzat or anti-wrestle. Because
he knew it was coming. They did know it was coming. It was just their tactics. That's what it was.
So I've got the stats here. How long? And let's play the game. How long it took Chimaev to land a takedown on DDP? So round 1, 4 out of time. How long do you think it took him in round 1 to land a takedown?
It was like 6 seconds.
Oh, bang on, 7 seconds.
7 seconds, yeah.
Round 2, how many seconds?
Round 2, I think it was a little bit longer, maybe 12 seconds.
Ooh, you're good. 10 seconds. Round 4.
That's even worse.
Round 3, how many seconds?
I think round 3 was quicker than the first one. I think maybe 7 seconds.
Back to 10 seconds again in round 3.
Okay.
Round 4, how many seconds?
Maybe that was the quicker one. Maybe that was 7 seconds.
20 seconds. So you've gone off now. And then round 5 was 22 seconds.
Chai. Fair dues. I mean, yeah. He said it. They said, okay, his coach came out and they embedded and said nobody's ever tried to see what he's like in the wrestling. And once we're in that position, that's when we see what we can do. And it's the wrong tactic to do. Maybe he overestimated Dricus' ability to sustain and to get out of positions. I think that's the miscalculation that they did, because Dricus really is more effective on the feet. He's more effective on the feet. So you need to keep the fight where you're going to be able to land damage, and that's the feet. And that's what he failed to do until like round 5, when he changed position when he came for it. He sprawled. He stopped the takedown. He changed position from one of the takedowns, and on the feet, we didn't even get to see them really on the feet. We didn't, really and truly. So the game plan was just it wasn't great for the puzzle of Chimaev, unfortunately.
Complete utter domination. That's all I can say.
I feel like I've gone 5 rounds of him. It's been, but it was interesting. You mentioned Strickland before. What Strickland said. Strickland's obviously said that he's had rounds with him. What's his name with Chimaev?
Yeah.
And he was saying that he basically dominated. Obviously, training only paints a certain picture. Nobody ever goes full wham in training, probably unless you're Strickland. Like, it's so. But hey,
I don't believe Strickland. I think he's chatting gas. Whatever. Yeah, whatever, mate. He's nowhere near the title picture for me anyway.
Well, yeah, he said he needs to rack up some more wins.
Exactly. He even admits that. So good luck, mate.
But yeah, Derrida is probably the only one that would be an interesting fight, in my opinion, with Khamzat.
Not Cal. I think Cal can grapple
to that level.
But let's be honest, none of them can. No one can.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's not play around. None of them can grapple to that level.
That's true. Unless you're Usman. Usman, did you see Usman's thing? He was just like after it. But yeah.
Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy. Did you see our guys? Well, I don't know if any more you want to touch on in terms of the main event. I mean, what's next for Khamzat? I don't know, but he's not losing anytime soon. It's as simple as that. I don't know what else to say. He is his biggest enemy.
Oh yes, yeah, it's true. It's true. Only he can lose the title if that makes any sense. Obviously, he's the only one practically, but yeah, it's true. He's got more chance of him getting stripped than him losing actually fighting.
Yeah.
So interesting. Yeah. Did you see the moving on? Did you see the Bison go
Oh, Susakayev. I did.
Sakai?
Good.
What was that? Let me know.
Genuinely, it was a good fight. Who was he fighting again? What's the guy's name? The American. He was also.
Yeah, was it not Pat something? Was it? Oh, that's going to annoy me now.
But anyway, you dig out the
Yeah.
name. His opponent was good. He was a gamer. They had a good scrap in the first round. I think his opponent really stuck it on him in the first round, and there were a few moments on the feet where Sakayev he was smiling a lot and laughing a lot, but he was getting hurt. He was actually getting hurt. He was getting hurt, and then it went into the second round. Yes, he was fully stunned at the end of the first round, and then the buzzer went. So had there been another 10, 20 seconds, he might have been put out. It was that close. It was that close. And then in the second round, he hurt his opponent with a couple of low kicks where it was visibly his leg was hurt. Like he even went to grab his knee at one point and like lifted it up. And then Susakayev from there just took over. He like literally chopped one of his legs, took a leg out, and then from there, I think they went down, looked like he was going for some type of a knee hook, and then kind of repositioned himself, took his back and choked him out.
Wow. Fair play. That's all.
It wasn't a one-sided fight. It was actually a very good fight.
Fair dues.
Yeah.
Fair play. Sky's the limit. And I think Dana said something that he might give the opponent a deal. I think he might.
I think they're both getting deals. Yeah. Because they were both last minute and they put on a competitive fight. So I'd say it's only fair for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I need to get his name now. I need to get his name. I need to put some respect because he did very well.
Yeah, and what's his Eric Nolan, that's the one.
Yeah, Eric Nolan. Yeah, it was a good scrap. Good scrap.
Nice. It was a great card. It did pay as well.
Card of the year.
I've got short-term memory, so recency bias. I'm gonna say yeah, but only because I can't remember. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it was card of the year. There was just from prelims all the way to the main event. Obviously, great finishes, a few shocks. The Hamzat domination, Lerone just taking all the plaudits and all the love. I just think there's a lot of storylines as well that can come from it. So yeah, great card. And obviously, remember last week in the preview show, I was questioning why Chicago. Yeah, that crowd was sick.
Yeah, they loved it.
That crowd was absolutely awesome. So, do you know what? I wasn't ready. Shout out Chicago. They absolutely turned up. Very rowdy. Yeah. UFC needs to go back there for sure.
That's it. Chi-Town stand up. Indeed.
Big card. But yeah, boom.
Nicely done. Let us know your thoughts, everyone. Comments, catch us on Instagram, YouTube.
Subscribe, all that good stuff.
Yes. Press the button.
But yeah, I'm your guy, Wasogi.
Yes, I'm your guy, Mardy.
We're King's Court MMA, and that was your UFC 319 review show.
Come on.
All going. Peace.